Good morning, everybody, and this is your S&P 500 day trade setups for today. So, what can we say about yesterday? We pretty much had quite a bit going on yesterday. So, we did have some data come through on the jobs number, which was actually relatively good, kind of flat towards good, so it wasn't too bad. Then we had the Fed's chairman, Powell, talk, and obviously what he said the market didn't like. Then we have surging bond yields as well, which is not really good. It's creating a bit of havoc. And then we have the politicians playing games. So basically what the Republicans did is started delay tactics on the stimulus bill. Basically what they're doing is forcing the Senate to read the entire bill out in the Senate. So that's 10 hours which is going to be wasted before they can actually vote. I suppose they never had a chance to read the bill in the last 3 months. But anyway, so that's kind of what's going on. You've got a whole lot of politicians that are playing games. You've got concern in the bond yield market at the moment. The dollar is strengthening. And obviously, we have volatility on the index. But all that noise is pretty much read into the charts. And you can see these big swings, this big volatility is a sign of confusion. So that's exactly what's transpiring. So all the games everybody's playing is really just confusion. Now, what I do want to highlight here, specifically on the S&P right now, is we do have a fairly strong bear channel. Now, the trend is still technically up. We have broken the 155 on the 8 hour. So that is kind of our line in the sand. If we put a level on there, you'll see it's this previous breakout. So the question is, has that been tested? We do have a bit of a bearish cross here on the moving averages as well, and 38.27, has that been rejected at the moment? So we do have non-farm payrolls this afternoon, so I would expect a little bit more sideways until that happens, and then possibly more volatility. At the moment, I think we are bottom of a channel, so the most logical thing would be to move back up to test some levels and then possibly down, or double bottom and then start forming structure for a break to the upside. At the moment, nothing really else that I can add to that from on the 8 hour perspective. 3 hour, really difficult to trade this. Yesterday, you look at tails to the downside, tails to the upside. So even if you'd taken this break here, the very next bar would have stopped you out and then reversed. So very difficult when this kind of scenario is happening. The weekly gap is closed, so that is one thing we know always works out. Well, it's got probably the most highest probability of working out most of the time, is that a weekly opening gap typically always closes. Oscillators are grouping to the downside, so we are basically 6% down from the highs. Probably there's a probability of another 4% correction as well. But anyway, let's just go on to the hour. Now, what makes it so difficult to trade is we are in a downward trend, so you're looking for opportunities to sell. So this pin bar here, if you'd taken that as a break below it, which I think a lot of people did, with a stop above here, you would have been triggered out. And if you look at that from a risk to reward perspective, that would have cost you 360 points. Remember what I said to you yesterday, that kind of risk for me is really just is too high. So the only other option would have been to take it on the break on this bar here, below the break of this bar, but that stop is going to be even wider. So in other words, if I'd taken a short there, my stop would have been 800 points away. That's not really gonna work. So even if we drop down to the 15 minutes here, we could argue that there was a setup there for a short. More than likely that is the reality, but again, this bar here, taking a break of that with a stop above it, would again triggered me out. So this kind of chaos here makes it very difficult to jump in on these things. So my decision just to stay out of it yesterday with the noise that was happening was the correct decision. So somebody may have got this. I probably would have got it as well, but I think I would have been stopped out once or twice, and before collecting the move. So this move itself is massive. That was a 1,000-point move. That in itself is a massive move for the S&P 500 in one day. So it's not really, I mean, overall it didn't finish, if you think about it. So we were there, and basically we moved down 2%, and then sort of closed around there, which is 1.2% down. But the overall move was even bigger than that. So that was pretty much a 3% swing. Very, very difficult to do that kind of thing. So what are we looking for today? So I am still sitting on the sidelines here. I'm not really interested in this right now. We are looking to, it does look like we're building structure, but we've got another big bit of noise happening. So we will wait for that noise to happen this afternoon, and then we will see what the charts are saying. So at the moment, non-farm payrolls is going to be what's going to be released. Then over the weekend, you'll probably find the vote on the stimulus bill will happen. So obviously, the politicians just need to get their trade positions in, so that over the weekend we have another weekly gap up. And I think that's pretty much what is going to transpire. But big moves like this on the hour, these big moves, a lot of people will argue, you missed out on that. In hindsight, being a perfect science, yeah, we should have been short up here. We got the signal all the way up here, basically, on this pin bar that the short was in. But do you really keep shorts in overnight? I don't. So you're always looking for opportunities to get into this. So enough rambling. Let's just make sure there's no other levels we need to worry about. I think just working on the 15-minute, this previous swing load wasn't really tested yesterday going into the close, so I suspect that's what we're looking for, 37.81. So looking for that, and then probably a move to the downside. Now we are into the week, so let's just make sure that we have the weekly highs and lows in as well. And the weekly low is pretty far away, but that's 3 weeks in a row. We've got a channel that way, and we also have a weekly channel to the upside. Okay, so anyway, for me at the moment, this is not doom and gloom. It's a healthy retracement. It's driven by confusion, and we do have, we've got 3,700 at the moment, which is probably the next level, and then 3,600 would be another level. And if you look at that on the daily, you can see where all that structure is coming in. So right now, that's a bit of structure we are focusing on right now. Okay, so that's 3750. The next bit of structure to the downside is there, which we have tagged. And then we have this area here, which is fairly strong. So that itself is 37.15. So quite a bit of support in this area. I don't expect this thing falling to the floor. If it does start falling to the floor, the Fed are going to jump in so quickly and stop this. So by the dips, the challenge at the moment is, where is the bottom of the dip? That is our challenge. Okay, so anyway guys, that's kind of my confused rambling view this morning. Definitely sitting on the side for now. These buyers that came in and was profit taking that happened here, I'm suspecting it's from the last 2 days. So I wouldn't want to be chasing shorts here. Definitely look at shorts further up if you start getting some rejections off structure, because we are on the hour in a downward trend. So you would be wanting to look for shorts, but wait for price to get back up and then look for the shorts. But also look for structure where you can have a reasonably decent stop loss. If you see tails like this, you'll see 2 hours before all this chaos happened, you can see these big tails. Rather stay out of it, because that's just an indication you're going to get hurt. Those tails are confusion. Anyway, that's enough for me today. Hope it helps, and we will catch up with you on Monday morning. And rest assured, this is going to settle shortly, and it will start trending one way or another. And I am still bias to the bullish side. So I still think we're going to hit 4,000, and then there's going to be some more decision making. Anyway, that's it for me. Hope it helps, and we will catch you later. Cheers for now.